Welcome to the Why Not Us podcast. We're just a few dudes navigating life and talking about it. Thanks for listening.
We getting a little Amish here, Amish Jordan.
It's coming in thick. Look at that.
Yeah, it's good.
If I go to the barber on Saturday, I'll have him shape it up.
You know something I just realized that I haven't participated in it in a while, but No Shave November.
Yeah.
Joey, yours was thick not long ago.
Yeah. Well, I had that interview like last week, and then I had a follow-up one this week already. So like I didn't shave for this one, but at least put a tie on. I don't know. It seems very informal, these interviews. They're not like real interviews, I feel like. So
yeah, hopefully nobody from your work is watching the pod or listening.
I don't care anyway.
But does Joey even care? No.
I don't care. They don't care. That's the worst part about it, man. It's just
they don't? They're just like, see ya, we're cool.
I was just talking to a woman tonight who actually works in the medical examiner's office as a I don't want to call her a consultant, but she's a contracted worker is I guess the best way to tell you what she is, because that's what she described it as tonight. And she's like, dude, it's just so depressing.
Real quick before we crack the beer
fine.
open.
You're fine. It's so depressing, and like just the level of enthusiasm and like the dreariness and dullness of the working environment is terrible. And I'm like, yes,
that sucks, bro.
And she actually works part-time for Andrea Bocelli on his tour. So we're watching her dog for her coming up here over the next 2 weeks. So we'll stay at her house and watch her dog Bo. So we were having Bo and Hank meet tonight. But cool. I'm like, my office is the same way, lady. That's what I was telling her. So yeah.
Well, did it go okay? I'll edit some of this out, by the way, but did it go good?
Oh, you're fine. You can tell whatever. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. I mean, Hank's like a still puppy, wants to play with everybody, and her dog Bo is obviously a little older. He's a black chocolate lab, and he's growling at first at Hank, because Hank literally just wants to jump and run and do whatever. But
you guys have a dog park there?
Yeah, we've got plenty. And I was telling her, I was like, worst case, I'll just live with Bo and Emily will live with Hank. I mean, we don't really care. We just want to help you out. And she gives me like $40 a night or something. I don't even care about that either. Just helping around. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, Jordan? You had to go take a leak.
I had to go pee real quick before we crack the beer open.
He had to fluff his beard.
Yeah, Joey was telling a story. I was like, well, I'm gonna take this chance and go pee.
We'll just leave it all in, you know.
Okay.
We'll just start reducing the amount of editing and just make it all raw. As soon as we click in, like it's going to be on record, and just whatever happens.
The Thurman Show. You're just watching this live.
All right. Well, I guess we've begun. And tonight I'm going to crack open a beer as I always do. And this one, I'm pretty sure, Charlottesville, Virginia. And guys, this one's pretty big here. This is a 19.2 ounce beer. So the largest one I've had on the pod so far.
One little over a beer and a half, we'll call it.
Yeah, so a lot of breweries are doing these like bigger cans now because you can get them like single serve in convenience stores, but also like festivals. They sell a lot there too. But this one's from Charlottesville, Virginia, 3 Notch Brewing. They make some good beers, but I've never had this one. 9%, and it's an Imperial IPA. So, did you hear the crack? I didn't hold it up to the microphone.
Did not hear it. That's all right.
Wow.
Drop the ball.
Can you hear it pouring? No, you can't. I can edit the audio in for that now because I've got a little clip.
That's smooth.
I've got a little clip now that sounds like liquid pouring into a glass. So maybe I'll just edit that in there.
I liked subtly how you added the music with the cash cab too on the YouTube video. I meant to tell you that too when I was texting
you. Oh man, that's freaking classic. And we got to talk about that. But first, welcome to episode 16, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this podcast, if you stuck with us since episode 1 or even the pilot episode, we freaking appreciate it. We sure do, don't we, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
100%.
I guess on the topic of your beer's location, I guess we can say our thoughts with the University of Virginia's community. If anybody on this show knows what they're going through, it would be Mr. O'Toole here. very tough stuff this week.
Yeah, bad news in that part of the state.
They're in Idaho, man.
What's that?
They're in Idaho.
And Idaho?
Yeah, there were 4 students stabbed.
Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like, people are nuts.
Yeah, we actually, I mean, this is what it was not that well documented. We had a stabbing when I was on campus, if anybody remembers too. Somebody like beheaded somebody in one of the buildings.
Yeah.
At school when you were there?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was in like Donaldson Brown, which is the graduate student dorm, but it was like near the food vending area, which was Audubon Pond, AVP in the Donaldson Brown area. But yeah.
It was with a machete, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is
this
brutal.
podcast is off to a dark start.
Yeah. Gentlemen,
no, I mean that stuff's tough.
Let me get through my beer first.
Yeah, no, I remember that, Joey. That is right. And then they had the campus police thing happen, and
yeah, Charlottesville, I guess, in the last few years have had some pretty large like events like that happen.
Yeah.
Like, what was it in that protest where that car like ran through the protest or whatever?
No, it was. And not to make light of what's happened, I was telling a coworker, I guess last week maybe about it, or well, I guess earlier this week, excuse me. I just get upset with it all because like this stuff happens every day, guys, not just on university campuses, and the media just chooses what they want to move to the top, right? So I mean, I don't, obviously what happened was tragic, but like this stuff happens every day, and it just frustrates me that like, it gets to pick and choose what gets shown and what doesn't get shown, because you're watching your local news every night. No, shooting in such and such. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen on college campuses every day.
No, and that's why it makes news, right? And as we were discussing, they said if it bleeds, it leads, which is an unfortunate way to do things. But so I just get frustrated by it all. At the end of the day, it's hard to watch and hard to see, and it's unfortunate that stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Great movie there on the If It Bleeds, It Leads, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. If you've ever watched that, it's a guy who chases like accidents and fires and stuff like that, and records like footage to sell to the TV stations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, great movie. I think it's on Netflix.
What's it called again?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Like he has like a police scanner in his like van. It looks like almost looks like he's like a storm chaser or whatever, and he like listens to CB and like has all the police codes memorized and like goes after like these accidents, records it, and sells the footage to the TV shows that night.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's a real thing, I guess, in some of these large cities. I mean,
yeah,
gotta make a living somehow.
Yeah, multiple streams of revenue. That's how we all, it's how us small guys have to make it out here.
You're right.
Guys, the holidays are coming up. Talking about something a little bit more positive here. Not to, make light of anything that's happened there, but let's turn this thing. Oh, Jordan. Whoa.
On the clouds.
Thursday.
Out of nowhere, just breaks out the whiskey. What are you drinking?
Larceny Barrel Proof from last year, the C921. So their last release last year. We're coming in at a whopping 122.6 proof here.
Wow.
100 and what?
122.6.
Wowzers.
The pod's getting drunk tonight.
Yeah. I had a little bit of whiskey before, but you guys know what whiskey I drink every day. Well, no, excuse me, not every day. Hang on a second. Jordan, what did you trade? What did you pay for that whiskey there? I want to know. The people want to know.
I got two of them actually, because Larceny and Elijah Craig drop 3 barrel proofs every year, and they're like different proofs, and so they're called like A122, B122, C122, and like the last numbers are like the year they're made in, and so like they're usually anywhere from like 8 to 12 years on the aging. But they're guaranteed to release every three times a year every year. Always 120 some proof. They're always pretty tasty.
That's hot, man. Is it pretty smooth?
Yeah.
Sick. Does Heaven Hill make Larceny? I can't remember if they make it or not.
So
They have so many different brands.
yeah,
hard
because
to
it's
keep
part
up.
of the old Fitzgerald family. Heaven Hill makes that. Yeah.
We
It's
toured.
hard to keep up with it because like different
Yeah, I know.
like Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace, which is owned by, it's all
Yeah,
all
and
these
all those
corporations have this
distilleries
stuff.
have like how many brands? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's
Yeah.
all
Like
under an
It's
umbrella.
unreal.
Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace, Eagle Rare, Pappy Van Winkle. Like, it's hard to keep up with it all. You really got to read the fine print to know who makes
Alcohol's
it.
kind of the same way. Beer's like the same way too.
Yeah. If you'll notice on a lot of whiskey too, like there's so many people that are trying to get in the game, it'll say, and this happens with a lot of consumable products, it says produced for or manufactured for. So it's just like a white label that somebody's already, made the whiskey and it's just white labeled, and it's really a branding and marketing game at that point. It could be the exact same whiskey as another brand. They just don't have sort of the brand equity for the consumer to
capability.
latch on.
Joey will appreciate this one. So there's this club in Greensboro called the Pickers Club, and it's the golf logo of the TPC.
Oh, nice.
And on the back of this ball, ain't no hobby. Look at everybody that's on here. It's got Kisner,
Oh wow.
Arnold.
Is that a painting? Or is
Yeah,
that
it's like a photo, like a picture.
okay?
Got Tiger over here.
Was that from did you get that at the
Jack-
PGA event this year?
No, I traded with the guy that was in the
Payne
group.
Stewart, or is that
Oh, okay.
Payne?
Yeah, Payne's over
Yeah.
here, and then you got Phil,
Bill, Jack, Arnie.
Arnie,
Yeah.
Kiz, and Tiger. And
Tiger.
Kiz holding up the
Man.
Wyndham Trophy.
Too funny. Too
I
funny.
hadn't seen that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You got a
Yeah,
good
thank-
selection back there.
got yeah, it's pretty.
Oh, you're sitting beside of it. All right.
But Thanksgiving,
extensive.
guys, holidays.
The holidays are coming up, fellas. And
Jones having to eat about 20 different times, apparently, he said.
well, we had our first Thanksgiving meal on Saturday at my mom's, which went really well. It was pure chaos because like all the kids were there, and there's now like 7 grandchildren.
Well, yeah,
You know.
Sarah Beth's got 3. You got
She's
one.
got-
Sabrina's got what, 2?
She's got 3 now.
Sabrina's got 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sabrina, when she had Ellie, like 8 months later, got pregnant again. So she's got 2 babies in diapers right now. So it's just like, it was pure chaos, but so much fun. It was like so much, it was needed. And it's like, we haven't stayed in a lot of places so far with Felix, but I guess we went to Florida, but when you think about just like going and staying like overnight, just like one night with a child, the amount of stuff that you have to pack and that you need for a newborn is just like ridiculous.
A lot.
It is a lot. So it's like one night, it's just so much stuff to like pack up and go. So we're thinking through that on like how we can, make it more efficient, or like what do we really need? What can we leave? But then again, it's like you get in these situations, and you have no idea what situation you might get in. You're like, oh, we should have brought that, or, being a dad, man.
Dad life, bro.
Dad
Yeah.
life, man. But Sunday, we got the Christmas decorations up. Well, probably like 75% of them. We still got quite a bit to do on the inside, but I strung lights on the house on the outside. You guys saw in the picture I posted on Instagram, this little box of these reindeer. Those are new this year. Kelly goes in Walmart to buy like paper towels or something, comes back home with a couple new reindeer with lights on them, drops another $80 on the card.
Love it. Love it.
But they were awesome. They're awesome. And I thought Penny was going to go berserk with them, but she didn't even bother them, which was great. But the real deer that are on the hillside, she goes absolutely berserk over.
Wow. And you've already hung all these and put them all up?
Hung up the lights, put out the reindeer, put up some decorations on the inside. We
Not
still
even
have,
Thanksgiving not over yet. I don't understand
I
that.
know, man.
probably
I know. And then we've got the tree. Then we got to go get the tree. So after Thanksgiving
office
week,
today. At the office today, like we had a potluck, and it was like a Christmas potluck. I'm like, it's freaking November 17th.
well, the county that basically takes 2 months off, like municipals don't work here in the holidays.
That's false. Not my office.
Not my office.
Not mine. God, I wish. I wish.
Yeah,
What did
well,
you
I
have
guess
at the
it's the
potluck?
end of the year is a rough time for you, really.
What do we have at the potluck? Well, first time
Yeah.
I didn't know about the potluck. I show up and they were doing stuff. We had some sort of meatballs. They were rivaling potlucks, actually. There was one upstairs and one downstairs. You know, that's a
Oh.
problem in the office. But
Yeah.
meatballs, some pasta, chips, dip. Nothing like extravagant. Little ham sandwiches. I guess some guy forgot to go buy sandwiches, so they ran down to the local like Target and got hot dog buns and cut them up and made sandwiches out of hot dog buns.
Heck yeah.
Classic
Improvise.
county like move there. But yeah, I mean it was brief. I had to actually go home and walk Hank during lunch anyway, so I like partook after I got back from lunch. My lunch had my second lunch.
The Italian is a play that you don't really hear much about, like during Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah.
Like in our world, at least.
Yeah, but yeah. So wait, so what else you guys got going on? Jordan, you going anywhere for Thanksgiving? You going home?
No, my parents are going to come down here.
Okay.
Oh, that is like the best.
Yeah.
Don't have to travel 4.5 hours. That's good.
You all doing it at the house then, Jordan?
Yeah, we'll do it here.
You four, or her parents coming or Jess' parents coming as well?
No, they're staying there. We'll do the double Christmas like we usually do, which is we're
Yeah,
driving
said-
here instead of flying.
Yeah, you said that.
And I think the clergy and his family is going to come up. But I think they're doing theirs on Saturday, so
Cool.
we didn't want them to be alone on Thanksgiving. So
That's
Awesome.
cool.
we'll see.
So who's the cook in the whole group?
Jess will do most of it. I think my mom has setting out her dough and stuff to rise like earlier in the week, and she always makes homemade rolls. So, but I think Jess is her boss is raises some turkeys, so he's having one killed for us. So we will have the freshest of turkeys next week.
Oh,
That will be breathing as of probably a day or two before Thanksgiving. So
wow. Talk about some fresh meat.
Yeah,
yeah,
fresh.
What about you, Joey?
We will spend Thanksgiving with my dad's side of the family, about 2 hours north of here. I think we're gonna go up Wednesday night. Usually we have a little turkey bowl Thursday morning. We'll see what the attendance looks like. It's an aging group of uncles, so we don't quite get the participation from them anymore. With the bumps and bruises that 50, old 50 and young 60, and even, well, I guess my dad's the oldest guy and he's 67-ish. So 60-year-olds.
Two-hand touch or what? What do you do?
Yeah, usually two-hand touch. But again, we'll see what attendance looks like. I don't think won't be everybody there. Like my brothers aren't going to drive up. My dad will be there, but
we need the Uncle Denny's stat line on next when we do the podcast after Thanksgiving.
I'll have to write it down. We'll have to figure it out. We might be off next week, folks. Just to clarify, we're not sure yet. We haven't talked about it, but
yeah, it's true. We haven't.
The last Thanksgiving I was there was 2 Thanksgivings ago. I usually rotate every other, and we did play two-hand touch, but it was only 2-on-2 two-hand touch. So Emily and I were a team, and against somebody else, 2 people, and then we had an all-time QB.
Who's the all-time QB?
I think it might have been Uncle Denny that year. I don't remember. I have to go back and look at some photos, but it was Emily and I versus like, I don't know, my cousin Shane and my cousin Patrick or something. I can't remember.
What about the kids going to Tennessee? What about
Patrick? I think's coming. I think he'll be there. Apparently, I think he had the choice of staying like at Tennessee, for the week, and I think he'd rather come home and spend Thanksgiving and hang out with us. Honestly, I mean, who wouldn't when you're like that age, when it's a good time, you could start like really partaking in the festivities with us once you're of college age, we'll call it.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about some good video content? You've got to get some video of this.
I can give you some stuff, honestly, if I remember, and I'm not drinking heavily and I'm not hungover. I've got I think I might have to be.
Well, Emily's usually on the camera. Just like tell her to save her videos.
I might have to actually be at work Friday morning for a couple hours, unfortunately. So I'll drive the 2 hours back in the morning potentially. I'm trying to get out of it. We'll see what happens. So
on Black Friday?
Yeah, doe season, Jordan. We're licensed, so we open up, and usually we just have one person there to open the vault, and I'm in charge of that department. So now,
oh shit.
So I'm trying to pawn it off on somebody, but I don't know if they're gonna want her doing it. She's only been around like a month or two now, so we'll see.
On the topic of holidays in the O'Toole family, can you tell our listeners my favorite all time O'Toole holiday story? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
Jones
yeah.
doesn't know this
I
either.
have no clue. I'm not
I mean, we can
informed.
wait for it to happen next month, Jordan, when it's close to
Oh,
that.
okay, we'll save it. We'll tease it up there. It's the greatest story in the world.
Now he's going to leave me hanging until then.
No, we'll talk about it. So my uncle Sean and myself and my brother James ended up being tasked with going to get the Christmas tree for the family a couple years ago. And we had been drinking before we went. And on the way to get the tree, we stopped at the bar. And we didn't make it. We didn't make it to get the tree. Is what ended up happening.
And everybody just was disappointed.
We ended up at the bar, and then we ended up at another bar, and then we went home. So we never actually made it to get the tree that day.
Wow.
Because we just hung out and drank beer and had a good time. So,
man,
that's like a scene you see in a movie. You're watching like a Christmas movie, and that shit happens, and it's just like,
some people
one uncle.
Some people weren't happy about it, right? Like they wanted the tree, they wanted to decorate it, get it up and ready, and we didn't come through that day. You know, we didn't win the day.
That would be a great little skit to do. Film that and post it on YouTube, like a 10-minute skit of that. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, and I'll probably hit up that bar on Wednesday night, hopefully as well, with some family members potentially, or even Friday night. The Hickory Nut. Shout out to our good friend Al, who owns Hickory Nut. He's an aging gentleman as well. Unfortunately, and my uncle Denny said he stopped in there last Saturday, and it just can't find workers. You know,
what's the beer of choice there? Is it
Iron City Light? Yeah, Iron City Light, baby. What
is it again?
Iron City Light.
Iron City Light.
Worse than Natty probably is the best way I'd tell you it is, but it's a good beverage.
If I can find an image of it, I'll post it in the video edit on YouTube.
Iron City Light. I've got a tacky Iron City Light sweater that Emily got me for Christmas last year and was actually asking me again today if I wanted another sweater from Iron City. I was like, I already have one.
I've got a image in my mind that it's probably similar to Abby's, right or wrong.
What do you mean? You mean the bar?
The restaurant, yeah.
The Hickory Nut? Yeah, the Hickory Nut Inn. They've got Wi-Fi there, man. That was a big deal up there.
It's like an old school place. They've got meatloaf specials.
You can smoke in there. They give you dollars as Sacagawea dollars as your change.
Okay.
That kind of stuff happens there, yeah. But the guy can't find workers, guys, and he actually lives next door to the bar. We'll call it. It's not a double wide. We'll call it like a little rancher.
I was going to say he lived above it, so he lives beside it.
Beside it, yeah. He and his girlfriend Jenny. Although I don't think they actually shack together. I don't know.
No pool tabs.
No pool tabs at that bar, but a lot of other bars there are. So, but yeah, enough about that, guys. We'll rehash Thanksgiving and whatnot, and I'll tell you any updates I have for you.
Yeah, we've got to get some videos of this. I think it'd be some great content for the tube.
A lot of it will be uncles just passed out drunk too. But
who handles the turkey on Thanksgiving there?
Just one of my aunts will handle it.
You guys seem like you'd want to deep fry one.
No, never.
They're too busy playing two-hand touch and.
Well, I can just see, you're out there playing football. The uncles are drinking. Next thing you know, there's a fire over there because they're frying a turkey.
If we've done some. I mean, we haven't not done deep fried, but someone will make like a second bird because there's so many people to feed. So I shouldn't say we've never not done deep fried, but my grandmother would never have done a deep fried one now. No.
Is there a specific side that is only found at an O'Toole family function?
I don't think so, man. Nothing. We're pretty traditional when it comes to all those things, dude. Especially like when you think about the Catholicness of everything too. Like Fridays during Lent, you're having fish every night, every week, that kind of stuff. Nothing like O'Toole-ish. Sauerkraut's a big thing. That is.
Kraut's probably unique. Yeah.
My uncle usually around October, November makes the sauerkraut for the entire year, and he already did it this year. And you can, more or less just put it away and keep it cool, and you pull it out when you want to make it each time you want to make it.
I'm a huge kraut guy.
Deviled eggs. Who's making the deviled eggs? I know they got to be some deviled eggs there.
No, not really, man. That's more of a Southern thing.
Oh man. I guess pickled eggs are a big thing in the bar in some of these Irish communities, right?
Yeah, but no, honestly, no one's a big. I mean, I bet there'll be some.
Yeah, you don't think about I never thought about a deviled egg being a Southern thing.
I guess it is.
Really
It
is, though.
probably is, but that's like all I've ever known.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
would never have. Honestly, no, not growing up. We never had deviled eggs up north.
It's
So,
like if you go up north too, like sweet tea's not really a thing, biscuits
yeah,
and gravy's not really a thing. It's like
I've
all
just
these
seen
things.
Joey house some deviled eggs, so I thought it might have been a family thing that
no,
they
I
were.
like deviled eggs, but that's on the other side, Jordan. They used to make good deviled eggs. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay. I
That
guess
was
it
Kelly's number one on the Thanksgiving foods, by the way.
was deviled eggs.
Yeah, she rips through those, man. Yeah.
love it.
Do you all like deviled eggs with like all the stuff in it?
I'm not a
Or do you
deviled
like
egg.
pretty simple? You're not a deviled egg guy?
No.
I like whatever makes it taste good.
Whatever tastes good. So sweet, plain, not too fancy.
Little bacon with it.
Little bacon. Hey, that's a good play. I'll say that. Little bacon bits on top, little paprika, little bacon bits, and you're set yourself up for a good time, you know.
Right.
How about some college basketball guys? How are the contracts going here and the part-time gigs?
Mine's
We've had a
good.
slew of technicals between us both here lately.
Yeah, we both had some technical fouls going on.
Ooh,
Our texting
spicy.
back and forth about it during the game. Nothing crazy happened this weekend. I worked the game Friday, Sunday, and Monday, actually. So girls game Friday, Sunday, and then a guys game Monday. So nothing too crazy. One of the guys didn't show up for his shift, so that was kind of screwy. We just got to shuffle everybody around. But I'm calling our ops guy like, hey, there's 8 minutes left on the clock, and this one guy's not here.
What was he supposed to do?
He was supposed to do shot clock, so I scooted over and did that. And they had a student worker come over to do the scoreboard, and we took most of the things on the scoreboard away from her. Like the scoreboard person runs the timeouts at Duquesne, Jordan. Like there's no official timeout person. It's ridiculous, I think. So like I literally, if I want to buzz the horn early, I'm buzzing it early. I don't really care what ESPN3 says because no one's telling me otherwise. Like if I'm trying to get the hell out of there, it's going early.
Oh man.
But yeah, we took all the, and she usually a scoreboard person does subs, so we took that away from her as well, and she did a great job for never having done a college basketball game.
What happens if you don't show up? Like, who's the backup?
Well, honestly, if someone doesn't show up to do the shot clock, they're screwed. That's the hardest thing possible.
What if you're sick? They don't have a backup plan?
No, usually they don't. No, that's a good point. No.
Joey's just going to fight through it. If he gets the flu this year, he's just going to be puking his guts out and running the score.
Yeah, but nothing too crazy has been happening so far. I know Jordan, like I said, we had a bunch of technicals going. I texted him to ask how you actually, record the technical in the program. But
yeah, flopping is now a technical foul. John.
Yeah,
really?
It's just straight up a free throw in the college game now. You get one free throw.
What's his name from Council? Why am I blanking on his name? Played during my era, Jordan. Taller guy.
Martin?
Yeah.
Martin?
Talk about a guy that wants to flop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Jordan, is the second one, I guess, an actual technical? Like that's what I'm curious about.
So when they call it, there's no warning now. So it's just a Class B, no personal, no team, one free throw, and then you get the ball back or whatever. I don't know if you get two, do you get ejected? We've never made it that far, and I don't know quite what it says in the rule book for that. But
yeah, because that's what I was asking you about too. When the kid hung on the rim, I didn't realize they've gone. That's one foul shot now, not two either.
Yeah, that's I guess just straight up class B2, I guess.
Why is the flop a technical?
They just don't want to see that stuff in the college game, and you don't want to watch it, do you? You don't want.
No, I don't. I'm just
like at the soccer game. I don't want to watch it either.
Usually, a technical is like something that's like pretty harsh, like.
Well, and it's a Class B technical. So there's always
Class B. So
yeah, there's always classifications technical, just like a flagrant, classification. So it's like a soft technical, Jones. It's just a way to shoot one free throw, and the team gets the ball at the point of interruption, whoever had it.
The soft tee.
So, yeah, nothing too crazy goes on. We had another good crew, Jordan, on Monday night. Another good crew Monday night. So, officiating crew.
I've not seen any big time guys come through. That usually happens during conference season.
We've had 2 big time crews so far. So,
Jordan, how many entries did you have? You had like 600 and something last week on that one.
It was close again on what was it, Tuesday night? They played Division II team. They played Lees McRae, and which was leading at halftime.
Really?
Yeah, they were up. They got up like 12 or 15 points there for a bit, and High Point ended up coming back. It was a run and gun. It was like I don't know, like 180 points scored, 190 points. It was like up in the 600s too. It was a lot of running gun. Yeah,
Nice.
some of those teams get hot. They just catch fire, and you let them hang around so long.
Yeah.
But got a game on Saturday. Got a women's game, so.
You got a football game Saturday as well.
What about next week? Are there any games next week for you all? Or are they off?
Not for me. They're in women's teams in Puerto Rico, men's teams in California, the tournament. So.
And is your contract for home games
Home
exclusively,
games
Jordan?
only. Yeah, home games only.
I believe
nice.
Duquesne has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Jordan.
Don't they got to go play at
Dang, you're gonna be
LeBron
busy,
School?
Joey.
Don't they usually play one game there every year? LeBron?
At where?
At LeBron School, St. Vincent.
Yeah, that's I asked off that one. That's over in Akron.
Yeah.
But I'm working one Monday, and I think I'm not scheduled Tuesday and Wednesday. Emily was like, "Yeah, I asked to work tickets Wednesday," and I was like, "No, you're not. We're leaving."
Bag of bacon on the road. Let's go.
But
I'll tell you what.
You guys talk. I think I hear the dog whining, so I'll be back.
I think it'd be great if we had some listeners out there that were going to these games and they were taking photos of you guys and tagging us.
I make it in some of the photos every now and then because I'm sitting
yeah.
on the at scores table. Yeah, it's not too exciting. You're just literally sitting there.
It sounds so stressful to me.
It is.
You have to be so locked in, and
Yeah.
like if you've had a bad day at work or like anything that's going on, like personally too, like it's
you got to
you got to lock it
pretty
up.
locked in. A lot of times I don't remember what happens in the game because I'm only focused on certain things, and
Yeah, you have a very specific thing you're looking for.
yeah.
Is it like bang, bang, bang every single time?
Yeah, for the most part, if it's a run and gun game, yeah. A lot of offenses they'll run half court sets, so if there's not a lot of fast breaks and up and down, it's a little slower pace, but
But you're not doing it like you're not writing it. You're using a computer.
yeah. So now I have, this has been back when before they got a new program in. If the computer went down, you had to write by hand. So you would just write in the code that you would input, and you would write down a time and when everything happened. That's not ideal, but it sometimes happens. That's a lost art today too, and I think a lot of these younger kids are trying to get into this stuff before they realize there's no money in it, and you're really you don't have much freedom or social life. They don't really know how to do this stuff by hand anymore.
That's wild.
But it's a dying industry. Joey will agree to that. Working in college athletics, just dying industry. Young kids get into it, they find out there's no money in it, and they dip out and go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
You have to love it, really. I mean, you have to be somebody like Joey that'll work for $5,000 a year or whatever.
Well, that's what they take advantage of you in that regard. Unfortunately, Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Go
when you look back on it.
Right.
Big time.
I mean, you could go work as a cashier and make more than that.
Dude, it's unbelievable. You absolutely can.
And
there's no excuse that they don't pay you back. That's the problem. And I shouldn't say that. I mean, if you look at it as a business, we talked about this. College athletics as a business is a negative. Like all these lower level schools don't make money, but
like my first job in college, working in college athletics, I was making $22,000 a year, no benefits.
Yeah.
No help.
But man, in higher ed though, there's so much grant funding that comes through those schools. There's cash there to pay people.
Oh, absolutely. But that stuff's always allotted, Jones, unfortunately, for like the education portion.
Yeah.
So
we're not really improving kids' lives. We're just making sure they go to class. Joey made sure they went to class, didn't get in no trouble.
That's a big deal, though. That's a big deal. I mean, that sets the trajectory for that. It could set the trajectory for that kid's life.
Good, yeah.
You never know what's going to change somebody's path. Like one conversation could,
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you're somebody in higher ed that makes decisions on what you pay people in the sports athletics for collegiate teams, you got to think about your budget a little bit, and I'd say raise it. The
Only
end.
they would, we've been down that road.
Uh,
They're all talking heads.
yeah. All right, guys. Let's switch gears a little bit. Cash cab segment idea, Joey.
Yeah, after last
let's chat about this for a little bit.
We had a lot of people message us and say how much they loved the cash cab segment.
It's ridiculous. Like people just message us all day.
Yeah, the whole good idea, bad idea. This is actually we really think it's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Great idea.
Great idea. We're not sure logistically how we're going to do this quite yet, but in the future, we kind of think that was fun.
It was.
So I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know how we're going to do it. It just dawned on me as I joked during when we were talking, like, oh, how the production worked. When you guys think about that, they had to like screen these people ahead of time. There's no way they just like hopped in the car to go somewhere and like it's sort of like I lost the allure of it for me when I started thinking about how like, not real it was, because I'm so naive. At that age, you're so naive to think, man, this is cool. This is like, this is real. They just picked somebody up on the side of the road and they hopped in and they're in the cash cab.
We would have to do it in the sense that you would have to Uber, and then once the person got in the back seat, you would have to explain, hey, we would be filming. This is a contest. You would win money. It's like cash cab.
Or we hand select somebody, like, and just have them like fake drive from one end of town to the other.
Like carpool karaoke. You would essentially just do it like that.
Yeah.
Or back to that idea that we talked about like years ago. Like if you got into an Uber, you interview the Uber driver.
Yeah. But no, like, and that's the thing. Those are all thoughts that I had. I could be wrong. Maybe they weren't screened ahead of time. Maybe they weren't just real. I don't know. But that's just what I thought after thinking. I was like, man, that probably was really fake. But to Jones's point too about the Uber confessions, like we think that's freaking a genius like thing to even like. I took an Uber last weekend, and the guy, I was like, I bet you've seen some stuff, man. He's like, stuff you wouldn't believe. Like living in a college town. Like,
you want to listen to my soundtrack? And it's not the same guy. It doesn't sound like.
Well, no, but like the conversation that Emily and I
had, that was great.
Jones on the at the wedding in Georgia. So that's another thing, like another content idea we have, like Uber story. I don't know what we call it. We have to come up with something witty, but.
Sorry to interrupt the program, but we wanted to let you know that Why Not Us is brought to you by Lincoln Road Roastery based in Kentucky. Lincoln Road is a coffee roastery and cold brew coffee and tea brewery. If you want good coffee, sparkling tea, or kombucha, look no further than Lincoln Road. They have locations in Northern Virginia and Pikeville, Kentucky, or you can also visit their website at lincolnroad.coffee to receive coffee every month, and you can also check out some of the cool merch they have as well. Lincoln Road reminds us all to drink good coffee and do good things. Use code WhyNotUsPod to receive 10% off of your order. Back to the program.
We're back. And how about those guys from Lincoln Road? Man, what a great sponsor they are.
Dude, they just constantly come up with bangers.
Yeah. Jordan, sorry I had to cut you off, but we were losing it. Our sponsors needed to be heard in the middle of the show. So carry on, my friend.
What we probably should do is next time Emily's out with some friends and they're, have had a couple of adult beverages, we just do it then and just have 2-on-2. And we're feeding Joey questions and they can steal and we'll keep up with points. And
I just had an idea too. We could actually do that, like going on Instagram Live. So Joey could like go live on Instagram, and then he could invite us to like be in his live feed or whatever. You know how you actually did that with me one time, Jordan.
I did,
on Lincoln Road, and I was like, oh, Jordan's watching. I'm going to invite him on, and bam, there you were.
We could do that way, yeah.
Great idea.
And
look out for that in the future, folks. We'll talk about it logistically, figure something out.
I think you can save that video. Can you? Like when you're live and like after the recording, can you save it? Because then we could like repost it as like a reel or YouTube video. You know what I mean?
We'll have to check into that.
We're going to Google it. We don't have time right now because we have so much to talk about. But
that's a Google question.
We'll be extremely prepared when it comes time to do it. Actually, I think, Joey, the next time you jump in a car, let's just figure it out.
I was gonna say, Emily just got back. She was at her aunt's house having like a little girls' night for a couple hours. Could have told her, I could have dropped her off there earlier and we could have tested it out.
Sounds like Emily likes to have a good time. I like that about her.
Yeah, man. I always tell you guys, we live our own lives. I never
Oh
shop for-
man, and did she zing Jordan? Oh man, she was commenting on
Yeah,
her
I'm like,
post.
oh.
She really got him on the Office quote. Jordan said it was
Yeah, I thought it was
Mike-
Michael Jordan,
Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about?
So you know the
The-
quote from the
It's the
Office.
shot you don't take thing or whatever.
Oh.
Gretzky is the other
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, so Jordan said it was Michael Jordan that did the quote, and Michael Scott said it was Michael Jordan, but it was actually Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
And Emily knew that, and she commented on her Instagram. It was
Oh,
like, I need you guys to get better if you're going to talk about The Office.
You know?
So big friend of the pod. I know she's listening to this, Emily. We really
she will.
appreciate
She
it.
listened to last week's. Yeah, she'll listen.
We
And
need
keep up
a
the videos of Hank, by the way. I
Joey.
watch
We
them
need
all the
we
time.
need a fact check guy like they had on pardon this interruption or whatever.
Pardon the interruption. Telling you
Remember they had
reality.
Well,
they
that'd
would,
be easy.
yeah, they would fact check. And
Yeah, at the end of every show. I forgot about him doing that. You're right.
Yeah,
So we need a fourth guy for the pod that just kind of like sits in the background, not on camera. Maybe they're just like in the background. They're listening to us, and then they chime in when we say something that is like totally not factual. That's what they do. Brilliantly Dumb Show. They have Big Ticket is in the background in every episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anytime they're like, playing a video or something like live or whatever during their show, like Big Ticket's the one that throws that up during their show.
They have
So
like
he's
a
like just sitting in the
producer. We'll call
background.
him the producer.
Producer, yeah.
probably producer.
So if you have a fourth person on Zoom, they come in, they just turn their video off, and you can't see their screen in the recording. It's just kind of like a ghost.
They're in the background. Yeah.
Right. Which is pretty nice, actually. Zoom, no free ads, but man, it allows us to do this, which is great.
Sure does.
Sure does. It's Cash Cab. It's going to happen. Uber interviews. We don't know what we're going to call it, but I do still own the handle, by the way, called Uber Interviews.
Hank. Come here.
Oh, here comes Hank.
So
Okay.
interviews. I couldn't remember if it was confessions or interviews. So it was interviews.
Uber because I used to Uber like a ton, right? It was like I was all the time in the car, with all these interesting people that were driving Uber that really didn't need to drive Uber. They were just like doing it just to like meet people, I guess. But they had like really good jobs, and
Hey,
everybody's
buddy.
story was just unique. Look at him, man.
Hey, buddy.
He is huge now.
Massive dude.
Oh my gosh.
No longer a puppy, but look at this thing. Ugh.
He's in that awkward teenager phase.
He's bigger than Penny, dude. He's got to be over 50 pounds, is he?
He was 38.
38
about a
last
month
checkup.
ago.
Oh,
Wow.
good
He's
dog.
getting
Bill.
big. Good old dog. I'm surprised he's not biting you right now. Has he stopped that?
No, not yet, really. But yeah, hit or miss nowadays. Not as bad.
Yeah. It's like I'm glad that phase is over, but sometimes it's like I kind of miss it,
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. They're growing up too fast. Guys, I got an unusual request today. So somebody that is going to be a customer of mine on the video production side of things, wanting to do like a short interview video, like a 3 to 5 minute video. And they were going to play it on like the movie theater screen here because it's going to be like a customer appreciation or something like that event inside the movie theater. They're going to like rent out one of the cinemas or whatever.
Sure.
And to play the video, you have to have a CD in
For the
this
audio?
theater. No, for the video. So I'm like, okay, I can give you any type of like file, right? Digital, hard drive, like I can give you a bunch of different files. But
MP3.
burning
or
MP3, MP4, whatever, like a Google Drive file, any type of file, I can do it. I cannot produce a burned CD copy of a video. What am I
Yeah,
going
they
to
need
do?
a DVD. Why are
Jones.
they asking for a CD?
Jones, I'm going to tell you what you can do, and this is taking me back to my
It's a
video.
DVD, Jordan. Did I say CD?
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
like, how's that?
It's a
possible?
DVD. You said
Okay.
audio. You're right. It's a DVD.
But
Sorry.
Jones,
But
I
you know what I meant.
guarantee you out there somewhere, there is an attachment that you can now attach to your new Mac that will burn discs for you.
There has to be.
No, there is. We used to do. You got to realize when I was the video
There
guy
is.
for a year at Radford, and then even after I wasn't the video guy, I did the video because we didn't have a video guy because I got promoted. But yeah, I did it for 2 or 3 years, man. We would burn the edits that we showed the players onto a DVD and run it onto a DVD player because that was how Coach wanted to do it.
That's nuts. And I'm thinking like,
And that was 4 or 5 years ago. Full disclosure.
how is this theater so far behind in like technology?
Well,
Well,
seriously.
why would they want to move to the 21st century? It probably costs money.
It probably does. You're right. And during the pandemic, they basically made $0.
Yeah.
But
I think
even
it-
before the pandemic, like when's the last time you all burned a CD?
When I
Well,
did
I
it,
can't
sorry,
tell you last
DVD.
time I went to a movie theater.
Yeah, it's been a long time for us too. Well, I always fall asleep nowadays. Like I cannot go to a theater.
Jones,
now,
I can
watch a movie
my
without going to
laptop.
sleep.
My laptop would burn DVDs. That's why I bought. You and I were talking at the beginning of this, and you might cut it out of the thing. Maybe you won't. Like that's why I bought that last Mac, Jones, because it had a DVD player still, and not
Huh.
many at that time did. But I knew it had burning capabilities of DVDs, so that's why I did it.
Wow. So that's what I'm thinking through this week, guys.
There's probably an extension somehow.
I think there's an extension you can do, buddy.
All right. I'll
If
have
not,
to.
I'll maybe my beat up laptop that'll take you probably 3 months to freaking burn it, but whatever.
Well,
I can't believe
I've
that
got
thing's still running.
to try to produce it.
You know what
get
it looks like, Jordan. You've seen it.
I've got to get the final cut delivered by December the 2nd, and I'm going to be gone all week next week. So I'll have. I mean, I was going to try to record the video tomorrow. I was like, I'm pretty free tomorrow, pretty open. Friday's generally like an open day to do this kind of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I can do the video tomorrow. I can get it edited next week, and I can get it delivered the following week after the holiday. But here I am trying to figure out how to freaking burn a DVD.
Dude, I would literally make slides in PowerPoint, grab the MP4 clips from the software we use called Synergy, and I don't remember what program I used to put them in, but then I would edit the clips to get to the length that we'd want them to do it. And maybe it was iMovie. Honestly, that must have been iMovie, I think. I'd have to go back and look.
Huh.
I think it was iMovie, yeah.
I do all my video editing in Adobe Premiere. I mean, I guess the challenge is just like trying to figure out a DVD burning mechanism. Like all of my laptops do not have the capability to have a DVD in them. My Xbox, I think, is the only thing that has a DVD player nowadays.
Yeah, like any type of like gaming device.
Yeah. So
I had this thing
there's a
one
pickle.
time that would I took all our like home VHS like family videos and like converted them over to DVDs. And I don't even
nice.
know if that thing would work anymore these days.
You know what? I think I actually know a guy that can probably he probably
you
has
have,
the
like,
equipment.
Don't you have like one of those spots in town where like the person you could take old movies from and they could convert the movies into a DVD for you? That's where you need to get.
Costco
Not like a
does that.
place. You just got to know the guy,
Gotcha.
or gal. And I think I do.
All
But
right.
we don't have a Costco, right? I mean, Costco for us.
No,
is
but like that
2
Costco
hours
does
away.
that. It's kind of surprising that they do that.
That is, yeah. Staples probably would do that, but they're no longer here. So there's that. Walmart could be an option, maybe. But anyway,
I don't know.
more to come on that.
Well, speaking of video production, Jones, why don't you talk about your YouTube video that is coming out or has come out? Sorry, folks.
Yes. So I posted the full video this morning. So it was the day I spent with the YouTuber Ryan Hall. Y'all is his channel. So he's got almost 1 million subscribers on his channel now, which is totally insane doing the weather, which makes the weather as interesting as possible. And produces a great like quality show. It's not just like a YouTuber show. I mean, this is like a really good quality production. He has storm chasers out in the field. He has editors. He has graphic designers, like 25 people or so that are remotely coming into his show, which is pretty freaking cool. So I went and shadowed him for a day and shot a vlog with him, posted it this morning. He loved it. His editors and graphic designers actually helped out with the video a little bit because he
Oh,
was,
really?
yeah, I edited the whole thing and I made a thumbnail and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I think my graphic designers can make a thumbnail that will make it more attractive. Do you care if you add me on as a collaborator on the YouTube channel so I can have them remotely come in and make a thumbnail?" So I did that today and they changed the thumbnail. And sure enough, the video kind of ticked up after that.
It looked very professional, Jones. That was one thought I had. I was like, this looks like other stuff on YouTube looks, and I shouldn't say
Yeah.
professional, other stuff on YouTube, but yeah.
So my thumbnail, it looked pretty good, but the one that they made was like way better, like so much better. You could tell like they were pretty polished in how they did it. But like the video editing and all that that's in the video, I produced all that. And it's, I think right now over 3,000 views, and it's getting like a lot of likes and comments and stuff on there, which is pretty cool. And I've never really, produced a video like that has, gotten that much traction. So it's pretty cool to see that. And, being around him kind of inspires you to keep going and, trying to grow the channels.
Jones, do you think you're gonna do content for your thing you're doing for the high school too as well, like this, like something, a vlog for it as well? Is that something on tap next?
Yeah. So
It might involve some more consent forms, high school stuff. I might get a little more murky, unfortunately, which
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks
Right.
nowadays, that stuff. But I'm sure it wouldn't be that difficult, but maybe you could, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if there's a story there, I'll try to find a way to make it work.
Mhm.
I'm not just gonna like show up to the school and say, "Hey, can I video some today?" or whatever. If there's like an interesting story I hear about, or if there's a student that applies for the contest that I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I want to go capture that story, talk to their students, talk to their parents, talk to them, whatever. I'll try to make it happen. And I'm actually kind of thinking about starting this like mini series called Adventures in Business, Jordan, inspired by Eric Lang, Adventures in Golf. And kind of getting these interesting stories in business and entrepreneurs and trying to capture their story and, find the ones that I find most interesting and do like a 10 episode season or something like that. And so I actually made a playlist and posted that video I did with Ryan Hall on that playlist on my channel as like the first one. So I'm working through that. And I think I'll be able to find like a local like nonprofit to sponsor it. Because they're always, trying to like capture stories of local business owners and entrepreneurs in the region to be able to share their story on their platform. So I'll be able to do that, get it to them for their platforms, but also post it on my channel too. So I don't know.
That's great.
Just kind of had the idea and I was like, I'm going to go for it and see what happens. It's usually what I do.
Yeah, and if you haven't yet, go check out Jones's
Yeah. We'll throw the
account? I
subscription
don't know.
handle right here in the video somewhere on
Yeah,
YouTube.
what do we call it? What's your account? I don't even know. What
It's
do they
just
call
my
it?
name, Ryan
No,
Jones.
but what do they call YouTube page? YouTube? I don't know.
Oh, my handle is Ryan Jones Vlog.
Yeah, Ryan Jones Vlog. There you go. That's what it's.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Logan Paul's is impulsive. Like I that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
Hit the subscribe button down here.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Follow up here.
Subscribe here. There's the video we were talking about.
help. What it should be like is help me make money here. Help me make money here.
Yeah,
Help me keep this
Right.
running here. I mean, it's what
Right.
it is.
that's right. But it was clear to me that there's money to be made in the YouTube space, my friend.
There sure is, and AdSense I think is going to be your friend. Your first technical thing. I actually watched a. Have you ever watched something called Colin and Samir Jones?
I don't think so.
They sort of do the business of YouTube. Essentially, is the best way to describe to you what they talk about on a daily basis.
Cool.
And they kind of talked to the guy who manages Mr. Beast a couple months ago, and I just watched that video this week.
He's building an empire.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. He's the first billionaire YouTuber.
Yeah,
He's from North Carolina. He's from Greenville, where he used to use a.
Really?
sure is. Yeah,
He's got like 1,000 employees.
yep.
Yeah.
And he's looking, Ryan, that's one of his like inspirations, Hall. He was telling me that's kind of like who he wants to be or like who he aspires to be on YouTube. And he was like, yeah, and he's about to like open up 1,000 restaurants or something like that across the US.
Well,
Something wild
they
like
did-
that.
They did their own like ghost kitchen thing, Jones.
Yeah, pop up little deals.
Called Beast
Oh,
Burger.
really?
Mr. Beast Burger.
Mr.
They actually have one location right now in New Jersey. I started watching a bunch of YouTube. I think I talked about this during the pandemic, and that's how I learned who Mr. Beast was.
Okay.
During the pandemic, I thought I probably was behind the times even in then. Honestly, Jones, he was still a big time guy then, but then he did that Squid Games video, and that's where that was the inflection point for them more recently about how worldly popular he got versus how popular he was. Then he became worldly popular with the Squid Games recreation he did.
That's wild.
But dude, if you have some time and want to enjoy some stuff, it's cool stuff. It relates to everybody, honestly. There's not like he's not.
He does
not
a lot of charitable things.
yes,
too.
charitable things too. Giving people money, giving away money. That little piece that I showed you too. I watched something else on him on Curiosity that documented Jimmy Donaldson's his name, Mr. Beast. But that like how I got here kind of story, and it was about a 50-minute thing about him, his mom, and it was interesting to learn.
That's awesome.
Where he got where he was. So
yeah, how many? Did you notice how many subscribers he has now?
Well, which channel? That's the other thing.
Oh, he has multiple ones.
Multiple channels, dude. Multiple channels. We'll look it up real quick, but that's what they're doing. Like we talked about, multiple revenue streams. They're doing multiple channels on YouTube. So
those
Jones,
guys. Go ahead. Sorry.
If you had to guess, how old do you think this kid is?
I would say 27.
24.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh
dude,
my.
112 million subscribers on his main channel, gents.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is a lot. That is a lot. Oh my gosh. That's like how many people are in the US? Like 300 some million.
We just hit 8 billion in the world.
Yeah, in the world we've hit 8 billion.
Yeah, unreal.
But I mean, that's just an unreal amount of people that have subscribed to that specific channel.
He started posting videos to YouTube in early 2012 at the age of 13.
Yeah.
Went viral in 2017.
When he counted to 100,000 and like videoed himself, Jones.
Yeah.
Do what now?
He counted to like 100,000. That's one of the things that like got him famous. He counted to 100,000.
He videoed himself and counted to 100,000.
You got to watch it. It's fascinating.
Just go check him out. Yeah.
He's the king of YouTube. So that's why I really would recommend you.
I've definitely watched some of his videos, but that's unique right there.
Just studying him and seeing how he got there. But you don't want to be, for your stuff, that is, like, no one's going to be him, right? Like,
right. Oh, yeah.
Even his manager was saying, like, people emulate and do a lot of the same things that Mr. Beast did. But, that's done out, right? Like, he's worried about the creativity on YouTube, honestly, right now, is long term. And the fact that like YouTube like is not like a business where you make money constantly, right? It's not recurring revenue, unfortunately.
I think most of his guys are like in his videos are all like his like friends from his like childhood from where down here.
Chris is the first guy. They interviewed Chris in the one thing on Curiosity I watched, and Carl's a big guy too. Nolan's one of the guys. I've grown to enjoy him when they come out. He's not putting out as much content, Jones, as he used to. But that
you see that as these YouTubers, like in the beginning, they'll just like, it's all about volume and like putting out as much content as possible to build your subscriber count. But once you get to a certain point, it's really more about the quality of the video. So then all the videos that they produce reduces, but the quality of that one video is so good that it's going to get millions of views. And that's what Ryan was kind of telling me. So he'll produce a video that'll get like 3 million views on his channel. But it used to be back in the day, it was like just recording from his cell phone, and it was just like every day I'm going to post a video. It doesn't matter. But
honestly, take some time, Jordan. Jones, research it.
I definitely will.
You both should, yeah.
And most of these YouTubers too were like Vine people back. Like the Paul brothers were Vine guys, and they like took off.
Yeah,
became YouTubers.
I'm okay with like people getting inspired by other people's videos, like not doing it the exact same, but like try to find a way to do it better. And that's kind of business too. Like you're inspired by things, you just try to find a way to make it better. And if it's entertaining, people are going to watch it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's fascinating, the whole game. Look, we're in the game. Look at us.
I guess we are in some capacity, right?
We're in the game. We are posting these podcasts on YouTube. We have some shorts on there, If you want to go to our YouTube channel, you'll see me shooting free throws. And let me just tell you, I'm on fire.
Speaking of free throws, do you think we're going to do a free throw challenge
Yes.
for the
It's
pod?
coming.
But Jones, that should be one
It's
of your
coming.
videos. One of your videos
Yeah.
coming.
You should
Well,
just
I'll
set up
post
a
it on the
camera and
pod.
go shoot. Go shoot
Yeah.
as many as you can.
Honestly,
How many-
guys,
How many
I'll
videos on YouTube are that, dude?
I will post this video because I set my phone up, and I think I was recording for maybe like 3 minutes or something, but I didn't miss in like 3 minutes. It might have been 2.5 or 3 minutes, but I think I made like 25 or 30 free throws in a row.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, "There's no way I beat that." I mean, I think I might have a shot at maybe competing with you out of 100,
Yeah.
but I don't even know that. Like,
But
I
here's the
probably
thing.
70 to 80 would be where I'd
I
be.
thought I had the camera
high
set
end.
up in like a good spot, but you could like see the basketball when it was in my hand, but you couldn't see my whole body.
Mm.
And I think you could see my wrists go up, but the angle was horrible.
What
I'll
is like
post it. I'll post it there.
the world record for like most half court shots made in a certain
Yeah,
amount of
what's attainable for us to try to break a record, you know?
Half court shots would probably be.
I
Like,
saw
what's the time frame for that? Like in 10 minutes? I mean, how many do you have to make in a certain amount of time?
yeah, I don't know, but we're definitely not going to hit the free throw world record. That's like 5,221. We might get the blindfolded one. That's like
You may
60
tear
something.
both your rotator cuffs trying to do the half court one.
There is no way I could sit there, even if I was making them. That I couldn't make 100 probably.
5 shots, you're going to the ER with your shoulder right now.
No doubt. There's no doubt.
From half court, Kelly's going to be in the ER with him.
I start sweating after just shooting a few free throws, man. No way I could
Tell
shoot.
me it's only
5,000.
8 guys.
8 and what?
Half court shots in a row made.
No way, dude.
God,
There
that's
has
tough.
to be more than 8.
No, I don't think it is. I'm on the Guinness website right now.
Only 8? That is attainable.
In a row.
I know that's attainable. I feel like
Joe,
that's our
do
new
you-
goal.
Do you remember we were playing at Xavier one time and I made 2, 3, 4th court shots? They were like a little bit past half court, made them in a row.
No,
I
but
just
yes,
had got to
I know it.
Radford and I just
believe
got
it
to
happened.
Radford and all the girls were like, "Who is this guy?"
I'm surprised somebody like Dude Perfect hadn't tried to break that record because they had those Guinness Book of World Records people come in their videos like for a
Yeah,
stretch, man.
It's a Chinese gentleman.
Wow.
Well,
June
so
of
it's
20
I mean, don't y'all feel like that's not that many? 8?
June of 2020, and he beat his own record, which was achieved in 2018.
I mean, here's the thing:
It's probably Zhu Chang King. Is probably
8 in a row, you've got to have everything right. That's like science more than just skill.
Yeah.
Like that guy has to figure it out. He needs to hit like the backboard at a certain spot.
I'll tell you what, Jones, you should probably do it. We should probably pull our good buddy Ross Jolly Jordan behind the back free throws from half court. I've never seen anybody as good as he is.
He
That
could
would be
make
one.
them in a yeah.
Most I've made like that is 1.
Dude, he's the best I've ever seen anybody do it, dude.
Sink
That's
'em.
great. What you got to do is you got to align yourself with a goal in front of you,
Yes,
and that's
yes.
how you kind of do it. Maybe that's a video coming up.
I made a half court shot at a Christmas tournament one time and won money right out of Jones's Christmas fund out of his daddy's pocket.
Heyo, sponsored by Jones Accounts
Jones
Pharmacy.
Count Pharmacy, yeah, won it
That's what I'm
right out of
talking
Don's pocket.
So I'm talking about. You like to see that,
Yeah.
Jones Accounts giving back to the community like that,
Old Kiwanis tournament.
Man, we've got some good content on this episode, fellas. This is great, and I think that 8 half court shots is attainable. That is-
That's gonna be the.
I don't feel
thumbnail.
like I don't feel
Jones
like
make 8 half court shots in a row.
that's their thumbnail. And let me just tell you something. After I get done working out, I go shoot a few hoops, and I'm gonna start.
Those
shooting
half
some
courts are not
court
real
shots.
half courts, though, buddy. You need to measure that out on
That's
that
a
court.
small ass gym you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real small.
I don't know if
The
that's a
floor-
regulation free throw line.
The floor sucks. The basketballs are flat. But I noticed this morning the ball was inflated a little bit more. I got a little bit more bounce on it.
You need to
but
buy your own
horrible.
pump.
That's true, and it's like an.
Joey
indoor
carried his own
outdoor
pump
ball.
around.
Always had to have one in the equipment bag in case you needed it.
Always got to carry your pump. You never know when you're going to need it.
You're
Guys.
going to go flat.
All right, fellas, moving on. Football, just real quick here. Jets, Patriots, Sunday. Bengals, Steelers.
Yep. Rematch.
Little rematch there. You think they're
Give me
going
the
to get
Bengals by a
revenge?
million. Bengals by 1,000,000. Although I think it's going to be a good game again.
It'd probably be a good game. It's always a good game between them two. They hate each other.
Yep.
That's like one of the only live games I watched this year. So far was the Bengals and Steelers in the beginning of the
Week
season.
one. Week one.
Let me see
Week
what
one.
the local games are for you this week here, Jones.
All right.
And Cowboys-
Joey, Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, Cowboys Packers. We blew the game last week. We get the Vikings this week. I sat on my couch, Jones. Knew the outcome of the game before it happened, and I sit there like a crazy person, an insane person. That's what insanity is. And watched it, even though I knew it was going to happen. That's what I get upset about after the game. I wasted my hours. Knowing what the current makeup is of the Dallas Cowboys offense and their quarterback, it just happens over and over and over again. So,
Jones, if you pull up the CBS app or whatever, you'll be able to watch the Jets and Patriots on.
Oh man.
It's what
Wait a
it
second
looks
though.
like.
I'm gonna be in Black Mountain though.
Okay,
Sunday.
so let me tell you, you're going to get Eagles, Colts. I'm sorry, if you're going to be in Black Mountain.
Dang, dude. Can't catch a break. But I
If you're
am
back home, you'd get it.
on Sunday, however, I am watching Nate Bargatze in the Asheville Auditorium. I don't know what they call it now. It used to be the
who
US
is that? I didn't want to ask.
Who's that?
He's
I
a
don't know.
comedian. You guys don't know who he is?
No.
Seriously? Oh gosh. If you're listening to this podcast, please zing these two for not knowing who Nate Bargatze is.
Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, I think it's Bargatze. He is hilarious.
I take your word for it.
He's good. Yeah, go follow him. Watch some of his
Oh,
content.
I know. I guess I just
You know
didn't know
who he
his
is?
name. I've seen him before. Yeah.
You probably, if you've been scrolling on TikTok or Reels or something, like his clips.
Yeah, I've
pop
seen
up a
this
lot.
guy before. He's
Jordan
got like a
Derrick Henry
Netflix deal.
Derrick Henry just threw a touchdown pass. He's thrown 2 passes in this game tonight. It's crazy. Rarely see that.
Well, they have 21-7.
21-9. No, 20-9.
Ooh.
Missed extra point.
All right, moving on to quick hits here. I saw earlier, I just Googled golf again, Live always pops up. Rory McIlroy speaking out again on Greg Norman this time, said he must quit his duties as commissioner of Live Golf in order for peace talks to commence among the leaders in the game. Rory is pissed.
I just don't want to hear.
I know.
They're just bringing it back up. Like, it's not getting coverage, so it gets coverage when Rory, and I get Rory's airing some grievances, whatever. But
At what point, just move on, dude. Just quit talking about it.
Yeah.
Rory is super upset, but you know what? These two leagues are just going to exist, and he's going to have to just get over it. That's just how it's going to be.
Liv's going to Monday qualifiers. You see that, Joey?
No.
Yeah, I think they're going to go to Monday qualifiers.
Whoa. All right, fellas, we must move on to Did You Know? Did you know my favorite concert of all time is? And I know, Joey, you said you've only been to a few, which is okay, but one of those has to be your favorite of all time.
Sure.
And I'm going to say Jordan probably should go first. He's been to like 1,000 shows. 999 of those have been Luke Combs.
Surprisingly not. My parents used to be, I guess, would follow Alabama on the road. So I've seen Alabama probably 20 plus times.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, they started following them like in the early 80s. Yeah, they were like roadies for Alabama. But mine honestly, I would probably have to say into a lot, but probably Luke Combs when he came back, played at App State, played his alma mater on the football field. Last Labor Day weekend, it was pretty awesome. Like, you could tell how emotional he was about it. He came back home and he's like, I learned how to play the guitar in this dorm right here. Yeah. And it was just kind of cool. That's probably been my favorite of recent.
That's awesome. I'll go next, Joey.
Okay.
I think mine would have to be, and I'm all over the map with music, much like I am beer, much like I am food, much like I am.
You mean your life?
My whole life.
Yeah.
I'm just like all over the map. But I do not like country. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. I think my favorite show of all time was probably the Mumford and Sons concert that was in Bristol several years ago. It was like 2000, maybe like 12 or 13 or something like that. They played in Bristol. It was like a passport thing. You had to buy the ticket with the passport, and they played in like 4 or 5 different places. But that show was like a tailgating event too. So like all of our buddies, and we were kind of, we were younger back then. So like my cousins and buddies were all together tailgating, like Hunter Romano and Zach Counts, and a bunch of people were just kind of hanging out. And it was an awesome show. I think I've seen Mumford and Sons like 3-4 times now. And they're just amazing.
Nice. Did you know my favorite concert of all time would have to be the first time I saw Luke Combs in a holler at the West Virginia Putnam County Fair.
Oh, nice.
$10 to pay to get in the fair.
Heck
Concert's
yeah, dude.
free.
That's awesome. Which
we saw I think we saw our first ever Hillary blew a 3-0 lead, right? T-shirt.
Yeah.
I think
you can imagine the colorful people of West Virginia, the things we saw that day at that fair.
For the sake of time, we could probably skip Burn the Bacon, but I did have a quick one. If I can pull up my notes here. Oh yeah, daylight savings time.
Yeah,
it sucks.
That burned all our bacons. That was a community burn.
The weather is a little bit colder, which I'm not mad about that. But
I'm going home from work and it's dark outside already.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
4:30.
But come next year, our friend that works in the in the government said that it was signed into law for next year, and we're not gonna have to worry about it anymore. So
let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, guys, let's move on to Super High Five, which the concerts will lead us into our Super High Five bands and or artists, either now or all time. It doesn't have to be all time. I kind of did minds of like what I was listening to now, kind of. And this was inspired by Jordan talking about trying to, get on Ticketmaster and buy some tickets, but Taylor Swift broke the internet.
Yeah, I've been in 2 pre-sales. I make it through the queue that says there's no tickets, and it's on Axis. So Red Rocks only uses Axis. So going into tomorrow, I don't know. So
hopefully you get those tickets to go see Tyler Childers because he's awesome.
Taylor Swift, they canceled the general pre-sale tomorrow, so they had no tickets left.
Really?
So people are pissed.
People are pissed. People are claiming monopoly, bullcrap, all this stuff. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, no tickets for Taylor Swift left. All right, roll off here. Joey, top 5 musicians.
Yeah, so Jones hates country. Mine are all going to be country artists. I struggled a little bit with my 5th one, and people realize I'm more, I shouldn't say new school country, but, I wasn't introduced to country really until I got to college, and I didn't listen to much music growing up, period. But number 5 for me, George Strait. Number 4, Alan Jackson. And number 3, Tim McGraw, and those two are coupled together, 3 and 4, because they were 2 of the first 3 CDs I ever got was Alan Jackson and Tim McGraw. Number 2, Eric Church, and number 1, the aforementioned concert for me, Mr. Luke Combs.
Number 1. So are these groups like people you might listen to now?
Yeah, man, I listen to all that stuff.
All pretty relevant still, yeah.
I will listen to any of that stuff. So I will throw it on the Amazon Alexa. I'll throw it in I'll listen to the Country Heat app on Amazon Prime. Yeah, man, all that stuff I enjoy.
Nice. I wouldn't be listening to your playlist, but I respect it.
I didn't grow up listening. My parents weren't really music people. My dad would play like the Beach Boys on Saturday or stuff like that, like oldie, and my mom played oldies in the car.
Yeah.
But that was it for me. I was the oldest of 3, and I just wasn't into it a whole lot, I guess,
Dude, I grew up listening to Led Zeppelin, Queen, Van Halen, not Van Hagar, all these like 70s rock bands,
You listen to what your parents listened to, and
sure.
That was your dad's love was like music that way.
Yep.
So
yeah, he was a rocker. All right, number 5, I'm going here. And this one you probably I'm all over the map here. Number 5, I'm going Odessa. You guys know Odessa?
Fuck no.
Odessa, Texas. Yeah, I know that.
Just a couple dudes making really good beats, and I listen to it in the gym every time I'm in the gym. It's like brain food, dude. It's just
Okay.
like really good beats, really good music. You got to go listen to Odessa.
Spell
Number
it.
4, huh?
Spell it
Spell it Odeza.
for the
Odessa.
listeners.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the listeners. And all the listeners are going to know who Odessa is. So zing these two for not knowing who they are. 4, Tyler Childers, just like Tyler Childers from the next county over from where I'm from. Booked him years ago for $200, and now look at him. You know, it's probably, he's so big now because I booked him at the hospital that many years ago. He's just really good. No feedback from you guys. Thanks. Number 3.
I've got a comment I'm just gonna make afterwards. So that's
we got 2 minutes here. Number 3, I'm going Lord Huron.
Okay.
No,
yeah, I've seen him.
Joey doesn't know. I've seen him.
Take me back to the night we met, baby.
Yep, I've seen
Dale's
him.
Jr. commercial.
Yeah, just really good music, chill music.
Yeah.
Number 2, more of a rock band, Colony House. And if you remember, Jordan, this is their dad is Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Okay.
But the band is not like a gospel
Yeah.
Christian band, but that's who their dad is. But they're really good. Seen them in concert a couple times. And the number 1, Mumford and Sons. I really like Mumford and Sons.
Where's Sunday
And now-
Best? Where's Sunday Best?
Yeah, that's not in the top 5, but I do respect their music. I like Nick Jamerson. Let me just tell you that. They're back together. So
Are they really?
They're touring again, making music.
Saw them live at the Preakness one year.
Nick is making more music like on his own, which is really good. But yeah, and Marcus Mumford is now on his own, if you haven't noticed. Making good. And if you watch Ted Lasso, all of his songs are on there. Anywho, Jordan, got a minute.
Okay, I got a minute here. Mine have like meanings into me about life. So, number 5 for me, the Ava Brothers.
Hey, that was in my honorable mention.
I keep telling myself.
Number 4, I'm gonna put George Strait, King of Country Music. Number 3 for me, it's gonna be a shocker for people being at this point, Luke Combs.
Ooh.
Number 2 for me is Jimmy Buffett, and number 1 is Alabama.
Wow.
They all have
Jimmy
different
Buffett.
meanings to me. Yeah, you have to put Jimmy Buffett in there. Everybody loves Jimmy Buffett.
Margaritaville.
One of the best concerts you'll ever go to.
Okay.
Didn't he fall off the stage a couple years ago in a live
He
show?
has. I mean, here's
Like
the
broke
thing:
a
you
leg
go
or
there, and it's people of all ages at
That's
Jimmy
true.
Buffett concerts.
This might be our
Well-
best episode yet, guys. Episode 16. Look, we're getting good at this, I think. We thought it was going to take 30, but maybe 16.
16. Solid hour 20 each time, folks.
Yeah.
Solid hour 20 each time. So buckle up.
Yeah, and we're going to give away coffee still. We get a lot of followers.
Don't forget.
Yeah, don't forget. Never forget. We're going to make t-shirts. So
Thanks for stopping by and lending us your ears today. If you like what you heard, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Why Not Us Media, or stop by our YouTube page, the Why Not Us Media Podcast, or hit up our website at www.whynotus.media.